How's it going?
Not bad. How
Good.
are you?
Same.
Good. If it's possible, you just keep getting better and better, Colin.
Uh-oh.
That's the good thing.
Thank
That
you.
is a good thing. Who had the biggest reaction to your transformation?
The biggest reaction?
Yeah.
My youngest son. He was there. Henry was there for the first. We did a makeup test about 6 months before the Batman film,
Right.
which is 4 or 5 years ago or
God,
something.
of course,
yeah, close. I think it was 2019. Anyway, we did that, and we did it in a studio in Burbank in Hollywood, and there was a team of 12 people putting it all together. It was the first time any of us were seeing it on, and Henry's auntie, my sister Claudine, picked him up from school and brought him out when we were halfway through the process. Halfway through the process was a particularly upsetting stage because I had this big melon head, hairy chest, and then this skinny little body beneath it. And that was when Henry walked into the room. So he was just appalled by what he saw.
Pretty traumatised.
But apart from that, I mean, it was a fairly... I never got to experience the character, but from being in it, like I never got to... But it was a fairly, just from what I saw in the mirror looking back, it was quite imposing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really is. It's
yeah,
still shocking
very
people
powerful.
now.
Very powerful to
Yeah.
look in the mirror and see that looking back at you, and you know, it's weird
Yeah.
witchcraft. Mike Marino, the makeup designer.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Deserves all the awards.
All the awards.
All the
and the
awards.
rest.
You've obviously got, though, a scene there where you're completely naked, but did you actually feel naked? Considering
Yeah,
you were under all of...
I still can't quite articulate how and why that scene was as strange as it was. Because I was totally had a pair of boxers on. I was totally, you know, beneath, but the legs, the body, arse, chest hair, arms, everything. I was totally covered. Like my whole body, just my feet and my hands were me, but everything else was covered. And yet I was mortified.
Really?
Yeah. It was so weird. It was really, really strange. The line blurred totally between reality and self-perception.
Yeah.
It was so strange. It's a point where in between takes I'd ask them to cover me.
Fair enough, though.
But it was
'cause
like,
if
can you cover my prosthetic
Yeah.
me? Yeah, it was
you
very
do
strange.
become that character, right?
It was very, very weird.
Yeah,
Felt very,
yeah.
very vulnerable.
The show is called The Penguin, but we barely hear him referred to as Penguin.
Yeah.
Is there a reason for that?
It's a call to arms from the other side if somebody refers to him as Penguin. It's a derogatory term.
Fine.
It's something that he was called as a result of the way he walks. He walks because he's got a disability with his right foot, was born with some issues with that part of his body. And so if somebody wants to... The only one I think that calls me
How do you
Penguin
like
in the
once
show
or-
is
yeah, it's like
Johnny
twice.
Johnny
Yeah.
Vitti.
That's it.
Refers to me as Penguin twice. Once before we're getting in the vans, then once when I catch him in the hotel room with someone he's not supposed to be with. So yeah, it's a derogatory term, so
Yeah.
that's why we don't.
It's-
There was a scene at the end of the show where I referred to him, Oz referred to himself as the Penguin.
Right.
And it didn't make the cut. The scene didn't make the cut. It was a small, short scene,
Right.
which is fine. But it was a pity because that moment was lovely because it showed him stepping into his own mythology
yes, yeah.
and seeing that it could actually be a source of power to inhabit this mythos of the penguin, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that's where, even though the scene isn't in it, I think he's kind of probably come to the point where he sees the power and the strength in something, a title like that.
Yeah. Like it said, though, it's getting incredible. Like, people are just blown away by this series. Like,
So cool, man.
It is. Like, it's
really
such a
cool.
great... But how much do opinions like that matter to you
Oh my God.
at this point in your career?
Look, it doesn't make you stay in bed longer or get out any earlier, to be honest with you. But I've done enough things over the years, you know. I mean, I've been lucky enough to be working as an actor for 25 years now.
Yeah.
I've done things that have been slammed and I've done things that have been praised.
Yeah.
And if you ask me which one is the favourite, the latter, like by a mile.
Yeah.
And just working with an extraordinary bunch of people, you know, 400, 500 crew on this in New York over a 1 year period with a strike that was imposed upon the crew halfway through for 5 months. Everyone was out of work, and then they came back in November to pick up where we left off. And with extraordinary spirit.
Yeah.
And I obviously worked with amazing actors, Kristen and Renzi and Dee Dee, who played my mom, Clancy Brown. I mean, everywhere you looked, there was an extraordinary cast. So just for it to work for everyone, and myself, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say it would be selfless, like for me as well, but it just, the collective, it's just really amazing when you see so much effort put in and then you see an audience respond and really enjoy it. And there's something kind of low tech about it as well. I thought when it was coming out on Sunday, I just had an image of just people, I don't know how many now, and I'm not even saying they all had smiles on their faces, but people in their living rooms sitting around a TV, and it felt very low tech. It felt very like 50s. I thought that's lovely because everything's getting so instantaneous and so fractured, and so everything's on the phone, heads are always down, and I just thought it was really cool to be part of something that people seem to be into. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really happy for you.
No, genuinely, yeah,
I'm really
it
happy
does,
for you. Like, it's nice.
No,
that
it
you're
is nice. It's nice.
getting to
Yeah, and it'll be
experience
like a
it.
month's time. It'll all be done. Do you know what I mean? It'll be a memory and
So
all that jazz. But
enjoy-
yeah, fuck
enjoy it.
Grief, life.
So it's great. Like, good luck with
Thank you.
everything else.
Thank
but
you so
it's
much.
So good. So lovely.
Sorry
to
for
see
rabbiting
you.
on. Lovely to see you.